electric, breathtaking, historic 50-point performance by Steph Curry to put away the Sacramento Kings, the most points scored in a Game 7 in NBA playoff history. Stephen A. Smith, Malika Andrews, Michael Wilbon, Jalen Rose. Stephen A., describe what we just saw.
Sensational, electrifying, awe-dropping. I mean, it's hard to put into words the greatness of this dude. But he put it on display and basically put the world on notice. There's levels to this. There are stars all over the place. There are even superstars that you could look. But there's still another level. And there's nobody on Sacramento that could touch that level. Wilbon and I watched this game together. And I literally said, Wilbon, I'm not definitively stating it. I had to be educated, Jalen, by the Godfather. I had to be educated by other Hall of Famers who will remain nameless. But I literally said, we need to have the discussion as to whether or not this man is the greatest point guard who has ever lived. Because when you're talking about impact and the fact that he could affect so many things because of his shooting ability, I've never seen anything like it. But I'm not surprised.
Historic, that's the word. 50 in a Game 7, 50. On the road, 50. It's never happened. Not since the merger, not, in the era of this or that or these combination garbage statistics. We just saw the greatest Game 7 offensive performance. I was trying to figure out, when have I ever seen a Game 7? Charles Barkley had a 44 and 24 rebound game, I think, against Seattle, which means against Sean Kemp. That's crazy. But this, he demoralized the opponent. Clay's not having a game. Clay and Wiggins can't hit a shot. And Steph Curry demoralized the number 3 seed, a team that had just beat them down in San Francisco the previous game. That's how great
48 hours ago.
And one thing, Stephen and I, we were going back and forth. At this point, we got time. This is a 20-point game. We were going to drag Jalen in. He was trying to concentrate on the game itself. We're talking about, who's done this? Who could do that? And we can't. We're talking about Magic. I mean, Magic had, of course, it was a Game 6. People have to remember. 42-15 against Philly on the road. But now we're talking about rarefied air. We're talking about the people on the Mount Rushmore of basketball are the only people to have the kind of game Steph Curry just had. So people, if you watched it, savor it. If you didn't,
go
watch
back and
replay, something, get a hold of this and see what you missed.
From a historical context, you guys nailed it. So I'll go X and O's wise. For years, I've called Steph Curry the vanguard of this era. Not a point guard or a shooting guard, something that we'd never seen. And all of us grew up in one way, shape, or form watching the Harlem Globetrotters. And I always wondered what it would be like if Curly Neal or Marcus Haynes played in the actual NBA. And when you call Steph Curry the greatest shooter that God has seen, it's not just catch and shoot. Usually the best shooter doesn't have great handles. Usually the guy with great handles isn't one of the best guys to play off the ball and do dribble handoffs and relocations. He does that as well. We're not even talking about the multiple finger rolls like George Gervin he made in today's game as well. Playing with his mouthpiece hanging out of his mouth, okay? This is something we've never seen. A Game 7 is so very incredible. How we talk about superstars lifting their team when it matters the most. That's what we saw, Stephen A.
Let's not forget the last part. When it's 6 minutes left, he already has 45. And there's a timeout, and he's looking into the camera, and he's walking off and saying, they can't finish. They can't finish. That's what he was saying. This is what he does.
I would be remiss not to mention the efforts of Kevon Looney. 21 rebounds, Michael Wilbon. He had an incredible task here going up against Domantas Sabonis, who had excellent offensive, particularly first half in this game.
And then nothing.
And then nothing in the second. And Kevon Looney's task does not get easier from here, because now we get LeBron versus Steph. We get the Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The first time that we have seen these two Titans go head-to-head in the playoffs since 2018. Your initial thoughts on this series, Mr. Wilbon?
I can't wait to see it. I feel grateful, to be honest with you, to be able to watch Steph versus LeBron one more time. And now Looney, you mentioned Looney. Anthony Davis can't go every other game against this dude. You see how many times consecutively he had his hands on balls on missed teammates' free throws, shots, defensively how he's playing. And that's a different dimension than the Golden State Warriors have had previously.
Let me tell y'all something. There's two marquee people who were watching this game today. LeBron, who loves the game, who cherishes the game. He's a savant, obviously, the Mount Rushmore, that appreciates the allure, the attraction, the draw, and all that comes with him going up against Steph Curry. That LeBron who's looking forward to this. And the other LeBron that's saying, damn, I really wanted them young pups in Sacramento because it would have given me a better chance to get to the Western Conference Finals. Now I got to go against this dude.
Again.
And it don't feel good. Those were two people watching that game today.
There's no way to talk about all-time great players without at some point mentioning how many championships they have. And LeBron is in his 20th year, and we know how many championships he's accomplished. But now it's going to be a younger group of people who've been watching the league, say, the last 15 years. They're going to possibly get a chance to see Steph Curry eclipse LeBron James.
Yep.
In head-to-head matchups, he has a better playoff record against LeBron James. And this year, it's going to be interesting to see which one of these guys as all-time greats are able to eliminate one from the playoffs.
Steph Curry 15-7 against LeBron all time in these playoffs. I do, though, before we go, I know we're going to have time to look forward tomorrow on First Take, on NBA Today, on Pardon the Interruption, et cetera, et cetera. But this Beam team, I mean, they were not an easy out. One of the brightest futures, I believe, in this league. They have the Coach of the Year, the highest offensive rating all time. What impressed you the most about them, Jalen?
3-seed Coach of the Year unanimously. Malik Monk was terrific off the bench. Murray made the most threes for a rookie in the history of the league. Sabonis had a terrific regular season as an all-NBA performer. Nothing but celebration for the Sacramento Kings.
They got to get some help on the interior. I'm very proud of what I've seen from their young, exciting team on the come-up. No question about it, but they got to get help on the interior. Sabonis looked like a small forward out there.
Can they take disappointment? And Jalen mentioned this earlier.
Yep.
It's not just the disappointment,
what you was talking about.
Yes. Following the disappointment. Sacramento, if they have the character they seem to have, which is in abundance.
Beam team. I mean, they were not an easy out. One of the brightest futures, I believe, in this league. They have the Coach of the Year, the highest offensive rating all time. What impressed you the most about them, Jalen?
3-seed Coach of the Year unanimously. Malik Monk was terrific off the bench. Murray made the most threes for a rookie in the history of the league. Sabonis had a terrific regular season as an all-NBA performer. Nothing but celebration for the Sacramento Kings.
They got to get some help on the interior. I'm very proud of what I've seen from their young, exciting team on the come-up. No question about it, but they got to get help on the interior. Sabonis looked like a small forward out there.
Can they take disappointment? And Jalen mentioned this earlier.
Yep.
It's not just the disappointment.
What you was talking